Once again, hello healers and health seekers. I had to restart the video. Um, it's me, Ichoda, and I'm healing with medical medium information since 2016. I had 10 years ago, I was on Mattress Island. I was on Sofa Island. I could not leave my house because I was allergic to everything. I developed agoraphobia. I had complex CPST. I had fibromyalgia and mast cell activation syndrome disorder. I had POTS dysautonomia, migraines, severe chronic pain and fatigue, debilitating chronic fatigue, multiple chemical sensitivity, which honestly is still a struggle. It's gotten worlds better, but it's just that the fragrances in the world are a struggle. Okay, the man-made chemical fragrances in the world are just a struggle for anyone dealing with any neurological or physical symptoms, because they are so toxic and they are so painful for all of us. They are harmful to pets and humans. They cause neurological issues. They are literally just gassing heavy metals into the air to poison us. There's nothing good about them. I'm sorry if you like them, but there's nothing good about them. They are harmful, so harmful to health. I just happen to be the canary in the coal mine. Me and all the animals that let you know, like, this stuff's toxic. I think people with birds know, like, scented air fresheners are super toxic. So, because they'll kill their birds. So, anyway, and if something's harmful to a bird, hello, like, it's harmful to us. It's just that it might take larger doses, but it still builds up in the liver and it's still harmful. Anyway, okay, this is not a diatribe about fragrances and the toxicity therein. This is about what I've healed and questions that I'm answering. I have a passion for healing. I have a passion for medical medium information. These books are my Bibles. You know, these are my reference books, my touchstones. I am in them every single day for something, looking up something, recipes or information, or I use them for spiritual healing, for emotional healing, for physical healing, of course, because that's how I started with them. And they are my scripture. They are my daily go-to. They are everything to me. And I love to share what I've learned, but I also love to really just connect people with the information and show you that you can learn it just like I did. You can learn it. You can become the expert for yourself, and you can have that certainty that I have, and that peace and that freedom that comes from knowing that there is always an answer to whatever you're dealing with, and that you're held, and that you're looked after, and you're protected, and that it's going to be okay. Like, there's a way to get through it. There's always a way to get through it. I apologize if I keep looking back and forth from you to seeing myself on the screen. I'm a little distracted because I've been out in the garden a lot and I got a lot of sun on my face, and just sort of, I guess, the way, because I'm bent over a lot, and I guess the way the shadows, it's just making me laugh, the way the sun hit my face. Anyway, I'm sorry. In case that's distracting you too, now you can laugh with me. Because there's just such a line here, and I don't know what. It looks like I've been wearing glasses, but I haven't, like sunglasses outside, but I haven't. This is just the way the sun hits my face. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, okay. So today I'm answering another question. I got a question from L468, and she asked about Oh gosh, I've talked so much now, I've forgotten the exact phrasing of the question, but it's basically like, how was I not afraid to start doing celery juice or the heavy metal detox smoothie when I started medical medium information? And I believe I did talk about that in another video way back a couple years ago that I made, but I am happy to talk about it again, and I will do my best to answer that question. Anything I can do to be of service, I am happy to do, because I just want people to know, I want you to know that you can heal. I want you to know that there is an answer, there is a way out of the hell of chronic illness, and it is these books, these books. It really is. And the more you dive into them and the more you learn them, the more confidence you will have in using these tools, and the more you will understand your own journey and yourself, and see yourself and be validated, and have all of the missing puzzle pieces fall into place for, like, oh, that's what I've been looking for. Oh, that's why this got me sicker. Oh, this is what I need to guard myself against and be safe against and be aware of. And not at all in a like, oh no, the world is scary kind of way, but more in a like, okay, this is what's going on out there in the world. And I now have the tools, the weapons, the armor to protect myself and be a warrior in this world. Do you understand? Like, I'm protected. I have the tools I need. And that feeling is the most freedom and the most peace that I have ever experienced in my life, because I don't have to guess, and I don't have to search, and I don't have to spin out or think that there's some authority outside that knows my body better than I do, because there isn't. Now, that doesn't mean don't seek the help of doctors. There are times when their information is valuable. They have valuable tools that can help us. They can help with diagnoses and helping us know, okay, I have this diagnosis. Well, let me get in these books and see what I can do to help support myself through this. And there are times where medication or surgery or other medical intervention is necessary, and I'm never going to shirk that. But we can also take our health into our own hands and effectively help ourselves to be as strong and protected as possible in the process of any medical interventions we might need. And this is how. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to answer that question. Wasn't I afraid, or how was I not afraid to try celery juice and to try the heavy metal detox smoothie? And I will tell you how. I tried everything else. I did every diet out there, everything. Let me see if I can even try to name them all. I did oh gosh, okay, let me even think of what they're called. I did the blood type diet. I did specific carbohydrate diet. I did GAPS. I did a raw food, but it was high fat raw food. I did, which by the way, of everything I tried, raw food was the one I felt best on, but I still had symptoms because I wasn't doing it the right way. I was doing nutritional yeast, I was doing high fat, and those things are harmful. So, and I didn't know the right way to do it. And yeah. So, okay. And then, What else did I do? Oh my gosh, I did them all. The anti-candida diet. I did vegan, just, I did raw vegan. I did vegan. I did Atkins. I did paleo. I did autoimmune paleo, low FODMAPs, and the lectin thing. All of I don't even know. I did so many of them that I can't even remember them all. The Nourishing Traditions, Weston A. Price stuff, with the raw milk and fermented foods, all those fermented foods. I did all organic, gluten-free, casein-free, corn-free. Even before I even found Medical Medium, we were gluten-free, casein-free, corn-free, soy-free, because of like allergies and issues. And oh no, because I was autoimmune paleo, so also egg-free. So I was already off a bunch of the no foods, but eating such a high-fat diet because I was doing autoimmune paleo, because autoimmune paleo was like, it was just like vegetables and fat and meat. And so you would just, every meal was like meat and vegetable and fat and meat and vegetable and fat. So like you'd have meat, but then you would add coconut oil to it. It was crazy high fat. And I am surprised. I'm not kidding you. What my liver has been, when I learned, I'm sorry, I'm not finishing sentences. When I learned about how toxins and pathogens build up in the liver over time from the Medical Medium books, and I learned, oh my God, and I thought about like the history of all of the toxic things that I've been exposed to and everything that I've done, I thought, I don't know how I'm still alive. I really honestly don't know how on earth I am so in awe of my liver, honestly. So in awe of my body's ability to fight through all of that crap and keep me alive. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I came into this world with baby liver. I came in jaundiced. That's baby liver. Medical Medium talks about that in Liver Rescue, I want to say. He talks about that in Liver Rescue, in the Liver Rescue book. And sorry, my chair is very squeaky. Every time I move. Anyway, it makes me crazy. But I don't know, it's my chair. So, I came into this world compromised with so many inherited toxins and pathogens. My grandparents went through World War II, they one of them was like, had bombs falling all over her, and was in ditches in England during World War II being bombed, like literally bombs going off around her. Talk about PTSD, right? And the other one fought in World War II. So just, there are a lot of toxins coming in too, and then like we're coal miners and all kinds of, I have such a history. So anyway, a lot of inherited toxins and pathogens coming down into the liver. And then, our grandparents and great-grandparents used mercurochrome and other mercury-laden products, and Mama's Little Helper, which was like an opiate for your kid to sedate your babies so they didn't cry, and and other pharmaceuticals. Anyway, okay, so how did I not fear? I will answer the question at some point. Just keep listening. I hope you have patience with me. So I tried every diet. I was doing so many different supplements. I had gone to every practitioner and every doctor. I had seen naturopaths and I had seen doctors and I had seen specialists and allergists and geneticists and rheumatologists and endocrinologists and cardiologists and name an ist, and I saw them. Nah, probably not all of them, but a lot of them. And I tried everything they told me. I did all the stuff. I tried to take their drugs, but I reacted so heavily to all of their drugs. I had to get all of my medication compounded, which means I had to pay for it out of pocket. It was not cheap at all. I had to pay so much money out of pocket for compounded medication because insurance didn't cover compounded medication. And I had to be so careful about what went into that compounded medication because I reacted to everything. And then I had crazy reactions to so many of the things. Like there was one that I had a reaction to. Was it I can't think what it was right now, but it's some kind of antihistamine that they give you when you have mast cell activation disorder or syndrome. And it's on the tip of my tongue. It starts with an L. And I want to say lorazepam, but that's not it. It's not. It probably doesn't even start with an L. Anyway, whatever. It's some kind of antihistamine. And I had such an insane reaction to it. And I mean that. I went crazy on it. I took it and went into a blind flight, like insane rage. And I was like, and it scared the heck out of me. And I was like, I never took it again. And I called the pharmacist and I was like, what is this? Like, I was so ragey and angry. And I just it was just fury. And I was just had this violent feeling and it was horrible. And I felt very out of control and awful. And he looked for 15 minutes and he was like, oh, this actually is a side effect. That it's a very rare side effect, but it can happen. And I was like, well, hello, welcome to the queen of side effects. If there is a rare side effect to have, right here, this girl's gonna have it. So I was like, I'm not taking that. So there was almost no medication that I could actually handle because of the crazy reactions I'd have to it. I could take Benadryl, compounded Benadryl. I could take low dose naltrexone. I was taking that for a while, compounded, obviously, and but nothing else. Even the sodium what the heck was that? How come I can't remember any of I can't remember any of the names of anything right now. Sorry. My memory lately is, things that are no longer important to me have just exited the building. Cromwell and sodium. That's what it's called. That one, shortness of breath. After taking it for a couple months, really, really bad shortness of breath. So I couldn't take that. I couldn't do the inhalers that they wanted me to do for allergies and other breathing issues. I couldn't do those. No. That was not good. And I just couldn't do any. They had so many prescriptions they gave me and I'd try them and it was just like, nope, that's a big nope. After paying for them compounded, which was, again, so expensive. And couldn't take them. So there are very few pharmaceuticals I was actually able to manage to handle. And anyway, but I did everything that I could, and I just couldn't. I was still so reactive to everything, and I was down to 12 foods that I could even maybe safely eat, everything. And it would change. It was so scary all the time. And which 12, honestly, I know for some people is a high number, because I have friends that were down to 0 and on TPN because they couldn't eat anything. And it's very heartbreaking. So I read the first medical medium book, which is now this one. we're just going to call it this one, the Revised and Expanded Edition, because it's Medical Medium Secrets Behind Chronic and Mystery Illness and How to Finally Heal. And I would recommend at this point getting the Revised and Expanded Edition because it has literally everything the first book has, but an extra book added to it. There's so much more information. Oh, I just saw the hawk fly by outside. Sorry. Birds always get my attention. There was a smaller bird chasing the hawk. And I'm like, oh, who was that? Fair enough. It's probably going after somebody's nest. I keep seeing it hunting back there, and I'm like, and that's why I don't have bird feeders up. There's plenty of food in the forest right now. And anyway, that's another thing. So I read this book. And Medical Medium's story is so profound. And okay, I forgot to say, I had done all the research. I read everything on all of my hundreds of symptoms and conditions, and I knew, and I had researched, and I had found the right doctors to go to because I knew what I was dealing with and what diagnoses I could get. Based on what I was dealing with, I knew what to look for, I knew who to ask, I knew where to go, and I got in to see doctors that were specialties of these particular symptoms and conditions, and got those diagnoses. And there were other diagnoses I could have pursued, and I knew that, and I ended up not, because I found Medical Medium. But I could have, for sure. I started to realize kind of how it was, and how it was like nobody in the medical system was really sort of talking to each other. So it was like, I'm going to all these different doctors and I'm getting all these different diagnoses, and they're all telling me to do all these different things, but nobody is managing. There's like no umbrella of care where one doctor is managing all of it, like going, okay, I see there's this piece and this piece and this piece. Let's put it all together under one umbrella and sort of make it a cohesive plan. And so it was just like each one throwing their own darts at the dartboard and just hoping something would stick. And I just got to the point where I was like, this just doesn't work. And nothing's working. I'm getting worse and worse and worse by the day. And after I have medical tests and treatments and things like that, I always feel worse. And none of this is helping. And same with the naturopaths, like darts at a dartboard. Even one doctor told me that. She said, one of my naturopaths said, it's going to be like throwing darts at a dartboard because I don't know what to do for you. And I was like, well, at least you believe me, so let's try. Because I didn't know what to do either, right, at that time. And I had done all the research, but there was just always these missing puzzle pieces. And I read the Medical Medium book, and suddenly all of the puzzle pieces were filled in. They weren't missing anymore. It was like, oh, this is where all the research left off. This is what it all was leading to, but never actually touched on. And I went to doctors and I said, okay, what is the root cause? And they were like, oh, we don't know. But here's some medication and some maybe interventions and treatments that you could try, and they sometimes can help. And I'm like, okay, but like, but you don't know the root cause. Like, but how can you heal something if you don't know the root cause? And then I just, and I was at my wit's end. And I didn't believe in God at the time, and I didn't pray. But I kind of was, actually. I kind of was laying there on Sofa Island crying every day after just doing all this research and going to all these doctors and not having any answers. And I was like, okay, universe, you gotta either, because I'm like, I feel like I felt like in my soul there had to be an answer, but I could not find it. And I was crying and praying and saying, you either have to end this suffering or give me an answer. Help me, because I cannot figure it out. I'm trying and I can't find it. And then this came into my life. And so I read it and I thought, I don't know how I could possibly do this. I just don't know. I don't know how I could possibly do this. My poor husband was so overworked and he was doing so many things. And I could not ask him to do yet another thing, a whole different thing that he had been doing this whole time. I couldn't ask him to learn a whole different way of preparing food. But I knew this was something I had to do. I knew it. When I read the book, I felt a shift in my being. I felt a palpable, to me it felt tangible. To me it felt like physical. Like there was a shift in my spirit. I don't know. Like it was like a paradigm shift where I was like, oh, suddenly it was like a veil had been lifted and I was like, I have to, this is what I've been looking for. This is the answer. And I just, what did I have to lose at that point? I was praying to die because I couldn't find the answers. I was like, you either take me home or you help me live. Like I cannot live like this. This is not the way. I'm not going to be on a colostomy bag because so many people with my symptoms and conditions were going to be on colostomy bags. I had friends with my symptoms and conditions that were on TPN and on hooked up to machines, IV ports. And I was like, that is not going to be my life. No way. I'm not doing that. That's not for me. And that's no judgment on them. God bless them. And I wish them absolutely the best. And if that is the path that works for them, I only wish them the best. And I still wish them the most healing. But I was just like, no, that's not going to be my life. I'm not going to be held together by devices and machines. There has to be a way that is natural for me to get out of this. And I just knew it in my soul. I just couldn't find it. So I read this book and I was like, oh, this is it. This is it. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up because it's true. Every time I talk about it, I remember it and I connect to that moment when I read the book and I just had that, it was like an awakening. I was just like, yeah, this is it. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And I didn't know how. I had no idea how I was gonna do it because I was like, I can't prepare food myself. I can't ask my husband to do one more thing. This poor man, he's doing so much for us because I couldn't do really anything. I could do one thing. I could make a smoothie for myself each day. That was it. It was the most basic nothing. It was the hardest thing, but I did it. Like I could do it. I could stand up just long enough to sort of throw together some bananas and greens and whatever I was putting in smoothies at the time. I'm sure there was coconut oil involved. But I could do that. And so I thought, okay, well, I'm going to see if instead I can do the celery juice, right? And I don't know how. But I did it. And I understand all the things that they tell you about histamines with celery juice and all that stuff. And to that I say, here is the answer to that. Histamine intolerance, liver rescue, okay? Liver rescue, subtitled Answers to Eczema, Psoriasis, Diabetes, Strep, Acne, Gout, Bloating, Gallstones, Adrenal Stress, Fatigue, Fatty Liver, Weight Issues, SIBO, and Autoimmune Disease. In this book is covered methylation issues, is covered histamine issues, is covered food and chemical sensitivities, is covered so many things. I mean, here's the list of what's covered in this book. It's very extensive. It's very extensive, but everything I was dealing with, Liver Rescue. But at the time, Liver Rescue was not out. I don't know what made me trust and think I don't really care what low FODMAP says about celery juice, because that's what I was really looking at the time. It's almost like it sort of erased that, and I just knew I had to try it. And I just thought, I have nothing to lose. I just don't. I was at the lowest low of my life at that point. I was at the part where it was like, please take me, God. And I never said God. I just was like, universe, come on. I can't. This is not okay. I can't do this anymore. I couldn't take care of my kid. I couldn't take care of myself. And my whole world to that point was being a mother. It was everything to me. It still is. And there had to be a way, and this was the way. So I knew I had to try it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And somehow, some way, I don't even know how. I really honestly don't. Yes, I do. I'm going to tell you how. The angels, that's how. There were angels. There just were. I know that now. I know that's how. I didn't know it then. But somehow I was able to make celery juice in a blender. I didn't have a juicer. It was just a Vitamix. And I did it through the Vitamix, and I squeezed it through the nut milk bag, and I drank it. And I didn't even do it right. I added a little bit of water because I didn't know that the celery would just blend if I chopped it into small pieces. Like, I just didn't know. So just a little bit, but I add a little water. You're not supposed to do that. Don't do that. It will blend. You don't need water. It's a Vitamix, for heaven's sakes. It can blend logs. You don't need, not logs, but branches, not logs. That'd be crazy. But it can do branches, so you don't need water. And I just did it. I did that. And I'm going to tell you what, it went right through me, but it worked. And I don't mean to say that I went from like being on Sofa Island to suddenly being like, oh, I could do anything overnight. No, not at all. But to see what I saw was miraculous, because when you're that sick and you're that bedridden and that reactive to everything and that out of gas, that chronically fatigued that you cannot even stand or do anything, and suddenly where you could only do one thing in a day, and don't even talk to me about showering, that was only barely a weekly activity. I couldn't. It took so much out of me. But to go from like I could barely stand and do one thing, making a smoothie, it was kind of excruciating, but I would do it. But I made celery juice, and then I still had enough energy to make that smoothie. And I was like, what is this? This is new. So just that was miraculous. And then I was able to make a salad later for lunch. What? Unheard of. And after the first day, I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? So I just kept going. And the celery juice would go straight through me. And I mean, in one end, out the other, as a liquid. And I don't mean that I peed it out. as a liquid. Just, but somehow in that, I absorbed something. I got those electrolytes. And the tank that had been out of gas now had some fumes in it. What? Unheard of. Unheard of. Happened 3 days in a row. I could make 3 things in a day. And it was like, my world was opening up. And I knew, I was like, this is it. I have to keep going. And I've never looked back. Like, that was it. That was the end. Now, to answer the smoothie question, did not start the smoothie right away. Not the heavy metal detox smoothie. He does talk about it in the first book. Like, he talks about the ingredients, but he didn't talk about the smoothie per se. And this lady was so brain fogged also that I can't even say I was doing the 28-day cleanse. I mean, I thought I was, and I will say this, I was to the best of my capacity and ability at the time. It wasn't, but I was so brain fogged, I didn't realize. And at that time, I didn't know to keep referring back to the book for some reason. I mean, I did a little, but to like be like, is this what I do? But I just was so, I don't even know. Like, I was so deeply brain fogged, and it was just hard to comprehend anything or even know if what I was doing was right, even if I did look at the book. But still, after that 28 days of doing what I thought was the 28-day cleanse, I did write about it on, like, I have a blog. It's Purple Goddess and Frog Pajamas, spelled with a Y, at blogspot.com, I think, or .net. I don't even know. I haven't written on it in years and years, but I did write a blog post about, like, I after the first 3 days of it being what it was, I was like, I have to write this down. And I did write it down. And so you can kind of see what I ate and then what I was going through each day. Kind of miss that blogging, but like, it was fun to just be able to write my thoughts. And anyway, and it's not, whatever, it's not it's not perfect. It wasn't, but it worked. But it, like, helped me start to function a little bit. Like, I could do a little bit more and a little bit more. It was a very, very gradual process because I incorporated the tools very, very slowly. But you don't have to do the heavy metal detox smoothie on the 28-day cleanse. You don't have to. It's not a part of it necessarily. You can, you absolutely can, but you don't have to. And I didn't. And because really the heavy metal detox smoothie as a recipe, a full recipe, didn't come out until Life Changing Foods. And then I got that, and that is when I did start to incorporate the heavy metal detox smoothie. But by then, there were so many foods I had gotten back. Do you see? I had 12 foods, and most of them were meat and vegetables, and not even leafy greens. Like, it was meat and some vegetables, and I missed food. Like, I missed fruit. I missed having, because I'd been doing all this paleo and all this, like, carnivore and all this gaps and all this stuff, and you couldn't have fruit. For like 12 years, I really could barely have fruit. And I'm telling you what, I mean, I still did, because you're not supposed to, but, like, I couldn't help myself to sometimes just have fruit, because who from birth does not love fruit? And it's like a natural, it's a God-given, innate soul thing that we love fruit. And so I would eat fruit sometimes, but I tried not to, and I wasn't supposed to. But to suddenly have, like, you can have all the fruit, and I was like, I can have all these fruits, and all I have to do is trade stuff I don't like anyway. Like, okay. So I was like willing to, because I was like, okay, I will try anything. I will try this because I had nothing left to lose. So I was willing to trust it. And I'll give you this. Years ago, I did this personal growth work stuff that where the leader of this program, the instructor, was saying like, at the beginning of this weekend that we did, this like intensive weekend, he said, I want you to, he said, I'm going to make an assertion that he's like, you don't know me now, but I'm going to make an assertion by the end of the weekend, I'm going to be the person you trust the most, or one of the top people that you trust. And he did fulfill on that at that time. It was a really powerful program that I did. But one of the things that they said about in the beginning is he said, I want you to just try this information on like a jacket. If you don't like it and it doesn't fit, you don't have to wear it. Like when you go into a store and you try on a piece of clothing, if it doesn't fit, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to take it home. But for the weekend, I just want you to wear the jacket. Like just try it on and see how it fits. And that piece of advice stuck with me all these years. And then whenever I'm in a position of like where I'm like, does this fit? Or if it challenges belief systems I already have in place, where I'm kind of like resisting it to a degree or unsure of it, I just go, well, let me just try it on like a jacket and let me just see if it fits. And with this book, that came back into my mind. And so when I was reading this and the places in the book where I would have resistance, like the angels, where I was like, I always kind of joked about believing in angels, and I always wanted to believe in angels. And like, I even, when I was into a lot of more new age stuff, I was into the angels, like I was into people who claim to communicate with angels and stuff like that. And I was always fascinated by it, but I never knew that I could pray to angels. And in a way, it felt really weird to me. And so the angels chapter in the book, I was a little bit like, okay, well, this sounds really cool and I'm down for it, but I didn't have any personal experience with it or connection. And so there was a little bit of like, And so, but really everything in the book did resonate. And I just thought, well, if this part is true and this part is real, then why don't I just try on all of it to be real and just trust it and see how that fits? Because what do I have to lose? Nothing. I had nothing to lose. And that is how I trusted it. And when Life-Changing Foods came out and the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie, and I knew about that, I absolutely did incorporate it. And it was about 5 months later for me. It was about 5 months of just using, like keeping out the no foods and using the information. And I was still doing some fats at the time, probably for about 14 to 18 months into my journey, I was still doing some fats. And then after that, I was like done. And, yeah. And so that, I don't know, I had gotten so many foods back. So the Heavy Metal Detox Smoothie, sorry, I just need a little bit. I've been talking so much, my throat gets dry. Okay. So, with a heavy metal detox smoothie, I had gotten so many foods back by just trusting that I could have them. And not all at once. Don't get me wrong, not all at once. There were still certain foods that I kind of couldn't eat without noticing the healing response from them and noticing previous sort of I could say allergic reactions, but sometimes those allergies come from a different place where it's like, well, you had eaten that food before and it had pesticides on it, and so your body has this response to it, and you have to sort of reteach your body that this is a safe food to eat. And so there are things like that with and then there were certain things that I just was really sensitive to the acids in those foods, like kiwi and pineapple, and even raw tomatoes for a while were difficult for me. And so I just didn't eat those foods until I could. And it was like in my journey, just one day, I would be like, I'm just going to try this kiwi, or I'm just going to try this pineapple, and I'm going to see, because it had been long enough that I just had this feeling like, let me just try. And because they used to make my mouth burn like crazy. Like I could not eat either of those foods, as an example. It just hurt. And just one day I just was like, I'm just going to try. And I did, and I could. And I, again, haven't looked back. I just felt it. I just felt like it was time. So I just didn't eat the foods that I was like really nervous about or scared of, or didn't feel okay about trying until I could. And I just, with the 28-day cleanse, you don't have to. It's just like you can eat what you feel safe with. You can mono eat on a 28-day raw cleanse if you want to. Like you can take sorry, reaching for my books. You can take the mono eating cleanse from the Cleanse to Heal book and apply it for 28 days if you want to. You can do that. Because the mono eating cleanse is in increments of 7 days. So 4 of those, like you want to do it for a minimum of 7 days, but you can do it for years if you want to. So you can do it. There's so much flexibility in the 28-day cleanse. You can have steamed potatoes in the evenings on the 28-day cleanse. Just the thing is you got to read the books and read the guidelines, and you'll know. Well, I cannot be short-winded, can I? 47 minutes. I'm like, I'm just gonna do a quick video and answer this question. I know myself. I should have known myself better than that. But yeah, so the 28-day cleanse just has so much flexibility. You have to eat this in the 28-day cleanse. There's the beauty of the 28-day cleanse is that as long as you're keeping off the no foods and staying within the guidelines of the cleanse, it's so flexible on what you can eat. And I love that cleanse. I think I'm actually about to do it again. I think I'm actually about to do another 28-day cleanse. I haven't done it in a while. I'd like to rotate through all of the medical medium cleanses, but I will just say, I hope this has answered your question, Elle. And I will just say that, really, it's, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I hope it's not Ella and I'm saying it wrong, E-L-L-E. I've always known E-L-L-E to be pronounced L, and I hope that I'm saying it correctly. Anyway, if I'm not, my deepest apologies. I do not like mispronouncing people's names. My name is Ichoda. It gets mispronounced all the time. I am more surprised if somebody pronounces my name correctly than if they mispronounce it. I'm so used to it at this point, and it doesn't even offend me. I'm like, because I applaud anyone for trying. When they read my name, I applaud them for making the effort. And if somebody says Ichoda, I'm like, yes, you got, Always proud of them. Um, 'cause it's, because, anyway, it's just not. So I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, and I don't mean to. Um, anyway, I hope that answers the question, but it really, the confidence and the surety of the information, it comes with time. It comes with doing it. It comes with being like, okay, I'm going to just try this. I'm going to do this to the best of my ability. It comes with continuing to read the books, and it comes with just, uh, there's just this alignment that happens in your soul that you're just, I don't know. It honestly, it started to happen with the first book, where I just was like, yes, I just felt it. And I was like, okay, gotta do it. And then reading every subsequent book that has come out just solidifies it. Watching him on the lives, reading the Facebook posts, everything, just listening to the podcasts, it just, every word just solidifies in my soul, like, yes, I am on the right path. And then just the freedom. I gave up I had so many books. I had so many health books. I had so many spiritual books. I had boxes and boxes of books that I just got rid of. I was like, I do not need these anymore. I have the answers. I have the answers in this series of books right here. These are the answers. These are the answers. And like I said, chemical sensitivities, mast cell activation disorder, liver rescue, and I want to just be like, get them all. Just get them all. Because the Medical Medium first book, it's got his origin story in it. Liver rescue, such a powerful book. And okay, I'm just going to say one quick thing. Nothing's quick with me. I'm sorry. Thank you if you're still listening. God bless you for having the time and willingness to just listen to all of this. After you've read the books and like really studied them and read them and studied them and read them and studied them and read them, because these aren't books you just read once. They're just not. They're not books you read once and then you send them back and don't ever look at them again. These are reference books that you pick up again and again and again and again and again, because nobody can possibly remember all of this information. And each time you read it and each time you look at it, you will get something new and deeper. It will deepen your understanding. You will get new awareness, new knowledge. These are the living word, and you can feel it when you interact with these books. You have to have the hard copies. I have them in every format. I have them in hard copies. I have them in audiobook, and I have them in Kindle. And the reason I have them on Kindle is so I can look it up by keyword when I'm not at home. And also, even when I'm at home, if somebody asks me something and they're like, what book is that in? And I'm like, keyword look, and I look through the books and I go, this one. Because a lot of times I remember, but sometimes I don't, and it's handy. It's handy to have that, because it also kind of helps you connect to, where was this? Where was this? Where was this? Because you'll start to remember over time where you saw things. You'll be like, okay, I saw that here, or I heard that here. Sometimes it's hard to remember where you heard something, because it could be the podcast, it could be lives. The thing I was going to say about influencers, be careful, be really careful. And this includes me. I am not an influencer. I'm just a person. I don't ever want to be. I'm not an influencer. I don't like that word. I don't like that concept. I don't like the concept of the idea of human beings as products, of us having a brand or anything like that. I'm like, no, I'm a person on a healing journey, connecting with other human beings, connecting with other people. I am nobody special, okay? I don't like that whole ego, whatever hierarchy thing nonsense that comes from the concept of influencer and popularity, whatever. I'm not in a popularity contest. I don't want to be. I think that the people that I resonate with are the people that I resonate with. I'm not after numbers. I'm not after likes. I'm not after popularity and fame. I don't, not for me. If you resonate with something I say, if it contributes in any way to your healing journey, it is an honor and a privilege, and I am so grateful, because to think that I could boost someone up in their healing journey and help them in any capacity, connect them with the information that they need, connect them with the resources that, like, okay, this is in that book, you can go to that book, this person is in that area, whatever. Like, that is to me the greatest gift, and it is what I would want. Anyway, be careful when you are listening to influencers or people on social media in any capacity, because all of us humans have baggage. All of us humans have belief systems, and we all can get things wrong, which is why it is crucial to read the books yourself, because and interact with the information yourself and have that personal relationship with the information and that understanding of the information. Yes, I'm sorry, that is my cat furiously trying to get in here. And I'll let him in a second. It does take time. He is very insistent. It does take time to learn the information, and it's of course okay to reach out to people and be like, where is this, or can you help me understand this, or whatever. Yes, of course, if there's people in the community that you resonate with, do that, but always double check what they say and say, where is that, and then look at it yourself and listen to it yourself. Like, if it's on a podcast, listen to the podcast yourself. If it's in a book, read the book yourself and make sure that that's actually what it says. Me or anyone else, literally, because I cannot tell you how many times I have seen people on social media take liberties with the information that are not accurate. Like, they will chant these things into the community, especially these influencers and practitioners. There is no hierarchy in medical medium information. There is no hierarchy in the community. There is no hierarchy of practitioners. He's never trained anyone. He's never certified anyone. He's never mentored anyone in that way. And people that tell you that they have had that are misleading you. So I just want you to be really careful and use your discernment, and then just always remember to go back to the source for the information, the source being the words from SOC, the books, because it's just too easy for people to put their own spin on things and their own belief systems and mislead people. And this, I try my best, but still human, still baggage, still heavy metals, still belief systems, like we all have our blind spots, right? I'm not saying that people are intentionally doing this, but it can be harmful, and I've been harmed by it. So let me be a cautionary tale, and let me let you know the best thing you can do for yourselves is read the books, really, truly. You can absolutely do celery juice. You can absolutely do the heavy metal detox smoothie. You might need to take it slower if you're really sensitive. It's okay. You can start with less and just do a little bit at a time. You don't have to go. I started with 16 ounces because that's what it said in the book, and I just let it go through me because what it was doing for me, I was like, I don't care. I had so many symptoms and conditions, and I was like, not gonna blame celery juice for whatever I was already going through. I already was doing all of that. I was already reacting to everything. I was already like, didn't know what was what. But this was a healing tool, and it was starting to work. So I was like, oh well, it goes through me. I'm just gonna do it anyway. and stay close to the toilet. That's it. Fine. I don't care if it's going to help me. And it has. Look, I now can stand all day in the kitchen, which I need to go do. I can stand all day in the kitchen and take care of my family and make food and go out into my garden and work for hours. And, I, I never, ever imagined I'd be able to do that again. I never imagined I'd be able to have a garden. I never imagined I could do any of this. And here I am. And my life is a miracle. I am a living miracle. I would not have survived. I was not going to live. I was I was on my way out of this world. I really was, genuinely. And because of medical medium information, I'm here. So don't be afraid of celery juice. It's not going to hurt you. If if you're really viral, there can be some die-off and you can feel it for sure. But if it's so uncomfortable, just drink a little less. It's okay. And it's okay if it goes straight through you. Don't be afraid of the toilet, for heaven's sakes. Better out than in. You don't want all these pathogens and toxins inside of you. You want them out. So the more you're eliminating, the better it is. It really is. It's good if stuff's going through you. If you're taking in healing tools, it's good. We want to be hydrated enough that we are using the toilet every hour. We need to be. That's important. If we're not, we're so accustomed to being so dehydrated all the time that we think it's normal to only go to the toilet like once or twice a day. That's not healthy. We should be in there eliminating in some capacity like every hour. Medical medium has talked about that. So don't be afraid of the toilet. Don't be afraid of having to use the toilet. If you're really sick and on mattress island anyway, you're near a toilet. So you're fine. It's okay. It's okay. I just want to say that because people get afraid of using the toilet. They're like, I don't want to have to pee. I have to pee a lot. It's fine. It's just part of my sleep that I get up and I go to the pee at night. And it's my own doing because I keep a jar of lemon water next to me at night. I don't have to do that. That's not required. I do that by choice. That's for me. I like just being able to constantly flush stuff out. It's fine. It's just part of my sleep. It doesn't even wake me up. I just get up, I go pee, I come back, I go back to sleep. It's fine. It doesn't disrupt my sleep. But it's a process. It's a process. It's a process. It's a process. It's a learning process. You will get there. It's baby steps, one step at a time. Slow and steady wins the race. You will get there. Do not be afraid of celery juice. I promise you, it is not going to hurt you. It is not. It is the best thing that could ever happen to you. The best thing. And you don't have to start with a heavy metal detox smoothie. Start little. If you're really sensitive, start small. Honestly, if you're really sensitive, I would start with a mono eating cleanse. I really would. I would get in the Cleanse to Heal book and I would start with a mono eating cleanse. I didn't know about that at the time, but it's okay. And if that's maybe freaks you out, the idea of just eating a couple of foods and making it really simple, then just find, look at the 28-day cleanse and just think of what you can do inside of that. That's the thing, is I just never focused on what I couldn't do. I just focused on what I could do. I was just like, well, even with celery juice, I wasn't trying to do the 28-day cleanse necessarily. I was just trying to do celery juice. That's it. I was just trying to do what I thought I maybe could do. I was like, maybe I can do this celery juice. And it just so happened that I was able to also make a smoothie and also make a salad. And then my husband would come home and make dinner. which means I was not fully doing the 28-day cleanse, because I remember like the first 3 days of it, dinner was lamb. That's a high-fat meal. That's not in the 28-day cleanse at all. So like I said, I did not do it perfectly. But I started, you know? So you don't have to be perfect. Just start. Just do it. That is my advice. Respect your sensitivities. Have compassion for yourself. Allow yourself to go slowly. Take baby steps. Don't think you have to do everything all at once. You will get there as long as you just keep, it's perseverance and consistency. So just keep doing what you can do, and then when you can do a little more, do a little more. If you only need to start with 4 ounces of celery juice, start with 4 ounces of celery juice. Then next week, go up to 6, then go up to 8, you know? However, whatever you need to do, you could do it slowly. It's okay. You'll get there. You'll get there. It's not a race. It's a journey, right? You'll get there. I hope you listened to all of this. And I hope it had value for you. Actually, more, I hope it had value for you if you listen to all of this. I love you. Thank you so much for asking me these questions. I'm trying to, I am going to get through all of them eventually. And I'm having fun planning out the answers for some of them. Some of them I think are better answered by somebody who has more experience in a specific area, like the one about working full time. Because I did work for a while, but I worked from home, and I do have I know somebody in the community. I mean, I know more than one person, but somebody who I'm closer with in the community who does work full time and does these protocols. And so I think she would be a great expert to have on that subject, to talk to you about how to do this when you're working full time. And so I am gonna talk to her about that. She's already agreed to it. I'm gonna bring her in for that question, because anyway, so I'm having fun, thinking of creative ways to, I'm like, okay, I think someone else is better suited to answer that in a more hands-on experiential way. I can give abstracts, but I'm not in that experience. So anyway, I'm looking forward to answering these. I'm excited about it. Thank you for asking these questions. And if you have any other questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm keeping a note of all of the questions so that I can go through and answer them. And God bless you all. I love you all so much. And I'm so honored that any of you are watching this and are here with me. And I wish all of you the best on your healing journeys. And yes. So what did I used to say? Stay curious. I love you. Many blessings on your continued healing. Thanks for watching. Oh, I think I'm supposed to say, if this resonated for you, please hit subscribe or something. Like and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe, whatever. I don't know. You don't have to. If you want to, you can. It's fine. I'm not necessarily trying to grow my channel for myself. I hope that the people that this would matter for, that this would make a difference for, find this video. And I hope that it makes a difference for anybody watching, and that it helps, and that you feel you're not alone on this journey, and you can heal, and there is a way, and I'm rooting for you. Okay, bye. I better go cook. I better go make food. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Bye-bye.